What are some of the craziest moments of your career?
I think when we were getting ready for Whitney's tour in 1991, and that was the first tour that I was music director for. Well, no, actually, I was music director in, I think it was '89. But at any rate, I remember that first time when I was in charge and I had this big responsibility. It's not like I'm playing at the local high school. This is Whitney Houston.
This is global.
And so we're getting ready for the tour, and she gets the call to sing the national anthem for the Super Bowl. And in the meantime, I'm preparing the tour and trying to get the band ready for that. And she said to me, I said, well, is there anything that, how do you want to do it? She says, Rickey, I don't know what he did, but Marvin Gaye sang the national anthem for the All-Star game. And he took his time. And I don't know what that was, but he was able to take his time and lean into the lyrics and put the emotion in. And I want to do that. And at the time, I was studying upright bass from John Clayton Jr., and who's a amazing arranger and bassist and all around great guy. And I called him and I gave him the information that Whitney said, and we ended up, doing it in 4/4, taking it out of the waltz tempo. We gave her time, and the rest is history, you know. And that's the same thing. I mean, there's producer, arranger, composer, all those different titles, and I think that's where the magic comes, when everyone contributes and can contribute at that high level. And so John did such a great job, and the NFL didn't like it because it was too different.
Oh, really?
It was like, how are people going to sing?
Well, it's art. You're
no,
constantly...
how are people going to sing with that? Like, they know it how they know it. They know, oh, say, can you see? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We were, oh, say, 2, can you see?
But she can afford to have these long notes, and they just breathe. And the longer she holds these notes, the more magic is in these notes. Like,
and so but that to me was the moment that I knew that I could actually do this for a living. Like I could, because I mean, when
basically
you're young,
you can mess with the music and reshuffle it and see what comes out, and then whatever excites
like
you.
Said, that idea came from her. The arrangements, John, and I was the producer, and was happy to be there to help find that sweet spot. Because that's what we're always looking for. What is that emotion that we want? What do we want to feel? What do we want the artist to feel so that they can convey to the fans what this song is about?
Can you tell us a little bit about the Whitney that we don't know?
Oh, well, I mean, it's so amazing. I mean, her spirit, and she was so silly. I mean, she would all have little pranks, or she'd come behind me and pop me on the ear. I mean, just silly and fun. And I met her when I was about 22, and she was 18 and trying to get a record deal. And I met her through her then music director was a guy named John Simmons, really great, a pianist and funny and great leader. And so he hired me to do the first tour after she got her record deal, and the first record came out, and I played bass on the first tour. And I remember I watched how he ran the band and how he did those things. And then after that tour, I'd gone on to tour with Al Jarreau. And so we were touring, and Whitney called me.
Al Jarreau was complicated music. Like, he was really like testing your musicianship, I guess.
Always. And then we had a great band. That band was great. And, and I also, like worked with Gladys Knight. That was my very first job.
Wow.
And that was when I was like, I think 19 or so.
But keep going with Whitney. I want to know all about Whitney.
So I'm leading up to that. So I'm on this, I work with Gladys, and so I meet Whitney, and, they already told her that I work with Gladys. So she was like, what's that like? What's it like to work with Gladys Knight? I mean, And so she was so enamored by and appreciative of the work. So anyway, I ended up leaving the Gladys gig, and I ended up doing Dreamgirls. And then that's the thing that led me to the Whitney part of it, because because of that job, I ended up meeting her then music director, and he passed away. And she called and asked me, said, I'm going to need you, and then we just started, building and growing and building a relationship, honest relationship, and really we're really close. And then it happened to me that really it's the "I Will Always Love You" lyrics. I mean, I had to leave. I had a son, and I had been on the road for 20 years, and it's time for me to be home. And and I said to her, almost the lyrics, which is, I just be in your way because I need to be where I need to be, and I can't do it anymore. But we remain close, and I happened to have a meal with her the day before she passed away.
Yeah, I was also at Clive Davis' party when she was upstairs in the hotel room in the bathtub. That was so sad.
Yeah, and Clive asked, what should we do? Should we call the meeting?
I remember, he was like talking to the audience. Shall we continue, or shall we call this a night? And what would she want? Right. And then it was a long pause, and he came back and said, no, she might want this to continue. Yeah,
and that's what I said to him. I said, I believe that all of us, what are we all going to do? Go home and be sad? Or stay here and celebrate? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he really, that was a wonderful thing to do for her. Mm-hmm.